starting off our video with a super fun, funky song.
The song says stop and go. When the song says stop, I want you to freeze. And when it says go, I want you to run in place.
So, everybody stand up and let's do this funky song. Boom.
Stop and go. Stop and go. Stop and go. Stop. Stop and go. Stop and go. Stop and go. Go. Stop and listen to what God says. Go and do what He tells you to do. Stop and listen to what God says. Go and do what He tells you to do. Stop and go. Stop and go. Stop and go. Stop. Stop and go. Stop and go. Stop and go. Go. Stop and listen to what God says. Go and do what He tells you to do. Stop and listen to what God says. Go and do what He tells you to do. Stop and go. Stop and go. Stop and go. Stop. Stop and go. Stop and go. Stop and go. Go. We're gonna stop. Be still and know He is God. We're gonna go. Let our life always show His love. Yeah. Woo! Stop and go. Stop and go. Stop and go. Stop. Stop and go. Stop and go. Stop and go. Go. Stop.
Hey guys, Miss Polly here. Did you have fun with Roman and Camilla in doing the song, the stop and go, stop and go? I like that song. But right now, we need to sit down. Can y'all sit down? Take a deep breath. Let's breathe together. Good job. You want to do it again? Let's do it one more time. We're going to zip our lips so we're not talking so we can pay attention. And we're going to turn on our listening ears. Good job. So now you're ready for story time. And today we are going to be talking about Queen Esther. Queen Esther had a special thing that God had planned for her to do, to save God's people. That was a big job, wasn't it? So the story of Queen Esther is on the Old Testament. Do you remember that the Bible is divided into the Old and the New Testament? So the book of Esther is on the Old Testament, before Jesus was born. Everything in the New Testament was after Jesus was born. And the cool thing about the Bible is there's so many stories that all fit together to put together one bigger story. The story of the amazing rescue that Jesus rescued the sinners. So we can see in some of the stories, like the one today, how God used people like Queen Esther to protect His people. Are you ready to watch it? Let's watch the story of Queen Esther together.
Hey boys and girls, I'm Megan, and this is Jessie. Hi. Jessie, you seem a little sad. Is something wrong?
Yes. I was supposed to go to my grandma's house today to bake cookies, but my grandma is sick now, so I can't go.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jessie.
I'm sad my grandma is sick, but I'm also sad because we have been planning to bake cookies for a long time. Grandma even got Koala Karate Squad cookie cutters.
Oh, I know it's hard. Sometimes our plans don't happen. But do you know whose plans always happen? Whose? God's. In today's Bible story, someone made an evil plan that could have stopped God's plan to send Jesus. but God was in control. Nothing can stop his plan. Listen to the story. Some of God's people were in a land called Persia. Persia was ruled by King Ahasuerus. The king chose Esther to be his queen. Esther was one of God's people who were called Jews because they were from the land of Judah. Esther did not tell the king that she was a Jew. One day, Esther's cousin Mordecai heard some bad news. Haman, one of the king's leaders, had a very evil plan to destroy the Jews. Mordecai was scared. Mordecai was a Jew. He did not want his family and friends to be killed. Mordecai and all the Jews cried. Esther saw that the Jews were upset. "Why are you crying?" Esther asked. She sent someone to ask Mordecai what was wrong. Mordecai told the messenger about Haman's evil plan. Mordecai said, "Ask the king to stop Haman. Ask him to save us." Esther wanted to help her people, but the king had a rule. No one can go to the king unless the king asks that person to come first. If anyone broke the rule, the punishment was death. The only way to not be punished was if the king held out his scepter. That meant you may live. Esther was afraid. Mordecai reminded Esther that she was a Jew. Maybe Esther had become the queen just for this time, so she could save her people. Esther asked all the Jews to not eat or drink for 3 days. Then Esther went to the king. He saw Esther and held out his scepter. That meant she would live. "What can I do for you?" the king asked. "I will give you anything, up to half the kingdom." Esther asked the king and Haman to come to a feast. When they were done eating, the king said, "What can I do for you? I will give you anything, up to half the kingdom." Esther said, "Come to my feast tomorrow." The next day, the king and Haman went to Esther's feast. When they were done eating, the king said, "What can I do for you? I will give you anything, up to half the kingdom." Esther said, "There is a plan to kill me and my people." "Who made that plan?" the king asked. "This evil man, Haman," Esther said. The king was angry. He ordered Haman to be taken away. Then the king made a law to keep the Jews safe from their enemies. God's plan was to send the Messiah into the world through Abraham's family. Haman's evil plan could not stop God. God had a plan for Esther to rescue his people. By saving the Jews, God made the way for his son Jesus to come into the world.
Did you pay attention? That was an awesome story. I love that story. I love to see how God used Queen Esther to rescue his people. You know, it was a scary thing to do, to go in front of the king, but Esther knew that God was with her. He had a plan and he was going to use her. So she did. She went to the king and she rescued the Jews, God's people. So now if you paid attention, I have some questions for you. Are you ready? Let me see if you paid attention. Who did the king choose to be his queen? That's the easy one. I know you know. Esther, that's right. And who made a plan to destroy the Jews, God's people? Do you remember that evil plan? Haman was his name. That was a difficult one. Let me see if you know the next one. It's a difficult name too. Who told Esther that God may have made her queen to help her people? Do you remember? It's her uncle. Do you remember his name? Mordecai. That's a hard one. Mordecai. Let's see. And who did not drink or eat for 3 days, 3 whole days, hoping God? Hey, God, I lost my place. hoping God would use Esther to save them from Haman's evil plan. Who did not eat or drink for 3 days? The Jewish people, right? God's people and Esther. All right. Who held out his scepter so Esther could talk to him? The king. Good job. And then who kept his promise to his people and saved them through Queen Esther? God, that's right. And who was sent to earth as part of the Jewish people and died on the cross and rose again to rescue people from sin? I know you know that one. Let me hear you really loud. It was Jesus. Can we say it together? Jesus. How cool is that? That God used Queen Esther to rescue God's people. And from that people, Jesus was born to rescue the whole world, to rescue you, to rescue me. That was great. Good job, guys. Are you ready to do some singing? You ready to do some dancing? Let's all stand up now. Now that you sat nice and good job. We're going to stand up and we're going to do some dancing. Are you ready? Here we go.
Oh, I know God made me, and I know God loves me, and He knows what's best for me, 'cause He knows every single thing. And I believe His promise is true, 'cause everything He says He will do. On a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and every day. I know I can trust in Him and His promises. I can trust in Him and His promises. Oh, I know God made me, and I know God loves me. Yeah, He knows what's best for me, 'cause He knows every single thing. And I believe His promise is true, 'cause everything He says He will do. Oh, on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and every day. I know I can trust in Him and His promises. I can trust in Him and His promises. So come on and lift your hands to the ceiling. Don't be afraid to shout. So come on and lift your hands to the ceiling. God will never let us down. So come on and lift your hands to the ceiling. Don't be afraid to shout. Come on and lift your hands to the ceiling. God will never let us down. On a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, on Saturday, and every day. I know I can trust in Him and His promises. Your promises, can trust in your promises. I can trust in Him, can trust in Him.
This the light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This the light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This the light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
tell me to wave my hands up in the air. Shout loud like no one else is there. You can tell me to start up high and twist it down. Here we go now, jump up and spin around. Yeah, that's right. Here we go. Gotta follow you wherever you lead. Just tell me where to go, I'm all in. Show me the path of life, lead me day and night. No matter where we go, I'm all in. You can tell me to wave my hands up in the air. Wave 'em! Shout loud like no one else is there. You can tell me to start up high and twist it down. Here we go now, jump up and spin around. Everybody say hey, hey, hey. That's it now. Oh, oh, oh. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do down. You can tell me to wave my hands up in the air. Come on, wave those hands. Shout loud like no one else is there. You can tell me to start up high and twist it down. Here we go now, jump up and spin around. Woo! Yeah.
Wasn't learning about Queen Esther so much fun? We hope you guys had fun with us today.
Thank you guys so much for coming. We'll see you next week.
Bye,
Bye, boys.